Welcome back to the lab, folks. So today we're going to continue on with our investigation of these little SMD testers here, little tweezer meters. And we might as well start here with the Aneng because it's the bottom of the barrel. So I've got these sheets here, and I'll leave a link to a spreadsheet that has all these in there, and you can compare them directly. What I've done here with the scoring is very basic. If it's the lowest common denominator, for instance, like accuracy, they're all okay. They all meet their specifications. So they all got 0 because there's not one any better than the others. In this case, accessories here. So why does this get a 1 accessories? Well, it came with 3 accessories, a tips, cap, and a screwdriver. So it gets a 1 because some other ones had less accessories, so they got a 0. You've got more accessories, you got a 2, and so on. So let's take a look then at the Aneng. I think things will become more clear as we go along. So here's the Aneng. This is the way it comes packaged. It has no real permanent storage. I mean, this little thing it's going to crack and fall apart in no time at all. And it clips on the little points down here and holds them in place. But the screwdriver was just shoved up in here, and it dropped out one time when I opened it up, and I can't seem to locate it right now. Other than that, it comes with a cap. So it's got this cap on here. So it's got the tips, the cap, and the screwdriver is what it came with. Turn it on by pressing this button here. Let's go down through its merits. So it has an LCD screen. It's got no display rotation, so if you wanted to use it in this hand, it's going to be upside down. Probe rotation, no, you can't rotate the probes. It's only 3,000 counts. It needs a CR2032 battery. I don't like those at all, so it's getting a 0 on these because these are all the lowest possible of these parameters. It has no case. It has no accessory storage. Does not have toolless changeable tips. Build quality is it's okay. It'll last a little while. The data shown, it gives you the value only. It can measure resistance, capacitance, conductivity, and diodes, and all it'll give you is just the value. So if you look here, if we go and get this resistor here, this here is a 10 ohm resistor. It reads it within specifications. It doesn't give you any other information, so it just gives you the value. So if this was a capacitor, it would give you the capacitance, but it will not give you ESR, you will not get the Q factor, you will not get the loss angle, you will not get the impedance, and you will not get the reactance. Just the value only. And actually most of these meters are like that. Okay, so value only. Data safe? No, you cannot save the data. Accuracy is okay. Frequency not adjustable, it just comes up with 666. Voltage that it uses, no, it's not adjustable, and it uses 1.4 volts peak to peak, and I'll explain why I put it down as peak to peak rather than RMS in a minute. It has no REL mode, it cannot test LEDs or Zehners, it will not measure voltages, it has a smart mode, so it'll try to determine what it is you're trying to measure. So it's determined it's a capacitor and it's measuring it correctly, 10.03 nanofarads. So it does have the smart mode, no calibration of it. The user interface is simple. You got those 2 buttons, nothing else. Handling is okay. It's a little bit top heavy. Power switch, no, it has no power switch. You have to wait. I think the timeout period is something like 10 minutes. It's sucking back that little CR2032 battery while it's sitting there waiting to turn off. The documentation that came with it was multi-language. Without that, it would have gotten very few points altogether. So it's yeah. It's not updatable, and the waveform is an offset pulse, and it will not measure inductance. So let me show you what the offset pulse looks like. Okay, so you can see the waveform there, and it's not very sinusoidal, is it? So it got 0 for that, and price $21.60. So for the fact that you're not getting very much, they don't relieve you on the price. That's why it's in last place. Now, the next one, very similar meter, similar looking, it's similar in every single way. In fact, it's almost exactly the same thing, other than that it's green and it's got a different name on it. Now, this one did come with a case, so that does have some storage. So it got a little bit of extra for the fact that it has accessory storage. Only comes with tips in a case, so it didn't score very well on the accessories. Where else did it get some? It's got the smart mode exactly the same as the Aneng, and precisely the same in every single way, shape, and form. Documentation is English only, so it only got a 1 there. And it gets a total score of 7. So the Aneng got a score of 5, this got a score of 7. And one of the main reasons was it's $17.20. I don't know why the Aneng gets to be $4 more. it rated lower on the scale. So I would say, unless you want something really cheap and go for this one, I would say avoid them. Now the next group are very similar again. The instructions on one work on the other. And that starts off here with the Uni-T, the UT116C. It got a score of 9, which is not great for a $24 meter. It's $7 more than Mastech. It also does not come with a case. You're also going to lose accessories, so these strange little leads here are going to get lost. Chinese only documentation. It does have some storage, so it's got a little bit of storage here for the tips. So let's go down through the list here. So we've got 2450, LCD display, no display rotation. It does have probe rotation, which is nice because even though it's not going to let you see things upside down, it is going to allow you to see things if you're in an odd place like that. So if you're measuring something that's got to be measured like that, you can at least point it towards you and see it. So that's a bit of a plus there. Counts 6,000, so it's a little bit better than the other two in that respect, that it's got 6,000 counts rather than 3,000. It's got AAA batteries, which I find much more palatable than the CR2032. It's huge. Accessories, it comes with tips, sleeves, and caps. It had 3 accessories, so it gets 1 point. No case. Accessory storage, some, like I said, the tips are stored on the cap here. Build quality is okay. Data shown, value only. Again, keep going down. Cannot save the data. The accuracy is okay, except for in voltage mode. Fixed frequency at 20.7 kilohertz. Voltage just no. It's at 0.6 volts RMS. And it's got a rel mode. It will test the Zehners and LEDs. It'll measure voltages. Let me show you that. So we have here, these are 18 volt Zehners. We put up the Zener diode mode here. That's forward bias is 7.59 volts. And reverse biased, that's 17.58 volts. All right, so it turns on the LED and gives us the forward voltage on it. So that's handy there. It'll actually measure small voltages up to a maximum of 36 volts. So if we put this on here, you can see that this battery is at 3.3 volts. Get it around the right way. You can even see that measures differently one way than the other. It has no smart mode, no calibration capability. It's got a simple user interface. Handling, this one's really heavy. It's unbalanced. If you let go of it, it'll fall back. And it's very stiff. The tweezers are very, very stiff. No power switch. Chinese only documentation. It's not updatable. The waveform is a semi-triangle. Let me show you what that looks like. So I imagine with a little bit of capacitance on that could get more like a sine wave. So it's a little bit better wave. It's AC, and it is more of a sinusoidal look to it than the other one. And it will not measure inductance. So it gets a total of 9. Now, the next one, the one that's very similar to the Uni-T, HoldPeak, and it does come with a case. Now, of course, these cases here, those hinges won't last forever, so it's not a very sturdy case. It's like the Mastech case in that respect. But this one here is exactly the same in its functionality as this. But one huge difference is the price. This is the cheapest meter in the bunch. So if you did want a cheap meter, this is the one I'd go for. Of course, 3 points higher than the Uni-T. And the reasons for that is that it does have full accessory storage. The instructions at least came in English. The Uni-T does nothing that this doesn't do. So I just wanted to test for voltage to see if it does a better job. Here we go. Get this battery. Test it around one way and then the other, hoping that we get to see the same value. Minus 1.2. Plus 0.3. So no. Unlike the Uni-T, these are very weak. Like it's almost impossible to hold on to it without pushing them together, especially if the thing starts to go on you, and it will go on you. So no ability to measure inductance, and it has that semi-triangular waveform. The only difference is it's a different frequency. So it's 3.3 kilohertz, and it's at 0.44 volts RMS rather than 0.6 volts RMS. Let's go on now to the much better items in the lineup here. Now the Zoyi and the next one, the Snakol, they are exactly the same. They do have a slightly different firmware in them. One says Zoyi, the other says Snakol. But other than that, they do exactly the same thing. And they're exactly the same price. These ones actually do work well. So this one comes up and says Snakol or Snakol. And other than that, they're exactly the same. They look exactly the same. They come up the same. They give you the same measurements. Do have display rotation, so you can invert the display. So if you're using it left-handed or right-handed. Probe rotation, no. Counts 10,000. Battery, rechargeable 400 milliamp hour. It's small, it's light, and it bounces in the hand. So if you let go of it, it's not going to fall off your hand. So it comes with tips, case, and USB cable, both of them. Same things can be said for each one of them. I think one of them got an extra point. They both come with a cloth-covered zipper case. They have full accessory storage. They do not have toolless tips. Build quality is a bit better than the previous ones. The data shown, you'll get voltage, you'll get ESR, you'll get loss angle, and you'll get quality factor. Yes, you can save data. These ones, every time you take a measurement, it saves it to a file. And you can access that file through the USB port here. Just hook it up to a PC. I didn't have to load up any drivers or anything like that. It came up as a disk drive, and you can see the file there. So it's a comma separated data file that gives you all the values you see on the screen here as you're doing the measurements. Your frequency adjusts, yes, 100 hertz, 1 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz. What you would use that for, let's say for capacitance. So let's measure this capacitor here, 10 kilohertz, and it comes up at 7.7 UF. Which is not good. But that ESR, 3.7, you're going to get a better ESR at a higher frequency. And then if you switch it now to 100, you're going to get better capacitance. All right, so the capacitance there is more accurate. But look at the ESR. The ESR is off the board there at 11.5. Generally speaking, you would use lower frequencies for getting the capacitance of larger capacitors. Higher frequencies will work better with smaller capacitors, but always get your highest frequency for testing the ESR of any capacitor. Yes, you can change the voltage. So long press this button here and that'll change it so that you can have 0.3 volts or you can have 0.6 volts. Generally speaking, I find that if you put it on 0.3 volts for smaller inductors, it's going to be a lot better. Too much voltage on them, current goes up through them, and then their series resistance begins to affect the results that you get. So it does not have a REL mode. It will not test LEDs or Zeners. It will not measure voltages. Okay, it does have a calibration mode. That's only for resistance though. So you can go in and for each of the ranges in it, get a standard resistor. Here's a 100 ohm resistor. Press the button, and I think it's about 10 or 15 seconds or something like that, and it'll bounce out of the calibration mode. Then anytime you measure a resistance of that particular value, it'll say it's 100. So the UI is good. I like the UI. You can bounce around and do an awful lot of things with this. Power switch, yes, it does have a power switch. You can switch them off when you're done so they don't use up your battery. Documentation of this one was Chinese only on the Zoyi, so it lost a point to this, but that's the only reason that this one got an extra point, because it had English documentation. It is updatable. You can do firmware upgrades. Waveform is a nice sine wave. So let's get this on the scope here. We'll run through the different frequencies there. So that's 10 kilohertz and 1 kilohertz, 100 hertz, and that's at 0.6 volts RMS. That's at 0.3 volts RMS. So yes, they have the waveforms that are required to do the job that they do, and they actually do their jobs pretty well. And they will measure inductance. Now the final one is the Fnirsi. Turn it on here so you can see it, Fnirsi. So let's go down through the list here. 2620, it is a little bit more expensive than these two ones here, a couple of dollars. So it does have an OLED display. It will do display rotation, it will not do probe rotation. It's also 10,000 counts. Now it got dinged a little bit here, like the Zoyi and the Snakol got 3 here for the rechargeable battery because they had 400 milliamp hours. This is only 250. Okay, size is small. Accessories, tips, case. It comes with a mount and it's magnetic, so the thing will stick to it. I don't know if you find that useful or not, but it is an accessory and it came with it. Cloth zippered case, yes. Accessory storage full. Toolless tips, yeah. So this is a nice feature. I think that you can change these tips if you want without having to get out a screwdriver. Build quality, this one's a little bit better, I think, than these two here. Data shown, it gives you the value, it gives you the ESR, it gives you the loss angle, it gives you the quality factor, it'll give you the complex impedance, and it'll give you the reactance. It does save data just like these do, but you have to press the hold button. So you make a measurement, you press the hold button, and then it saves a record of data. And when it does save the data, it saves all of this information for each record. Accuracy, again, is okay. It meets the specifications. Frequency adjust, the same as the other two, 100 hertz, kilohertz, 10 kilohertz. Voltage adjust, the same as the other two, 0.3 volts, 0.6 volts RMS. It does have a REL mode. Will not test LEDs or Zeners, will not measure voltages. It does have a smart mode. It does not have a calibration. It has the best UI. I like this mainly for this, like this little thumb wheel here. I like that. So that's why I gave it an extra point for that. It's just, to me, the handling is great on this thing. I love this, the grips up here, like they're the most pronounced grips, and they give you the best feel. The thing won't fall out of your hand if you let go of it. It's nice and light. It does have a power switch. The documentation is multi-language. It is updatable. It does have the nice sinusoidal waveform, and it can measure inductance. Of the three good ones, what were the scores? This one ended up at 34. The Snakol ended up at 30, and the Zoyi ended up with 29. Make your choice out of one of these three, and I don't think you can go wrong no matter which one of these three you choose. I think overall, though, my opinion is the Fnirsi is the better one. They have an update for it. In fact, I did the update. I updated the firmware here to the latest version. And I think their support is going to be a little bit better. I know that when I've had problems with other Fnirsi products in the past, they've responded immediately. Download that spreadsheet, and if something is more important to you, give it more weight. Redo the spreadsheet for your needs. And that way you can see, like, I've already told you which one's got the best in each category. So these have got the best rechargeable battery, the best battery solution here. So if that's really important to you, double up on it. So that's it, folks. This is the way it panned out. This is the winner. These two here are the runner-up, either one. All right, thanks a lot for coming out, guys. I hope you learned something from this. I hope it helps you make a decision. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.